Good morning, everyone. This is Diane. I should be cleaning my craft room, but I want to play. It's Saturday. I will clean my craft room, but I want to just spend a few minutes working in my little felted book from Pirjo. And as you may know, because I showed it before, I'll be collaging with images from Mrs.Cogs. I have blue in the garden, white in the garden, and pink in the garden from Mrs.Cogs that I'm using in this book. And I want to do as many pages as I can in a short while this morning. So what I have are my Mrs.Cogs images, my book of course. I have some scraps and pieces of mulberry paper in various colors, and just some scraps of paper in a few colors that might go with the book, including this pink tissue paper, type pink tracing paper. And I have my little tin of little tiny pieces of lace and fabrics. And I brought this over, and this piece, because these little sections are small, and I thought I could cut some of those off and use them. So let's just see what we can do today. I did do the cover. I stitched around this and then glued it down. And then I inked around the words in the garden and glued them down. So there's the cover. There is a pink seam binding sash that goes around it, and there's a charm that I took off because I didn't want it to make too much noise while I work in it. So I've done this page. It has a little bit of vintage embroidery here from an old doll dress. Just a little scrap of fabric and a little piece of vintage crochet and some pale blue mulberry paper behind her. I love that picture. And this one had a little pocket, so I just did a collage on the front. This is from a book, Pygmalion, I think it was, the play. And I put the word friendship on there. I think she already had this on there. Yeah, I don't have that, so she already decorated it with that, which is perfect. And because I backed this image, and I could write a quote or something on there, I'm going to look for garden quotes. This one could be a friendship quote because it has three ladies, and I put the word friendship there. And then there's another image of a lady sitting in the garden with just some paper behind her. And that's where I've gotten so far. So I want to put this lady on this page, and of course I have this fun little flap to decorate too. So I was thinking I would put this piece with the yellow daisies on it, but something behind it too. And that pink tracing paper is just the right size, width-wise. Look at that pretty picture. I think I'm going to turn you a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing without me having to move too far out of my comfort zone here. I'm trying to decide if I want a thin piece of lace down there. I think I'll just leave it. Leave it alone. Oh dear, the battery's flashing already. So I don't know how far we'll get when the battery shuts off. I guess depending on how far I've gotten, I'll either change the battery or we'll be done. Oh, I don't want that one down yet. I have to put this down. forgot what I was doing. Oh, my nozzle needs to be cleaned. The glue is not coming out very well. This is what I meant to put the glue on. Let's make this usable. The glue's all crusted around there. Hopefully that's better. Both of these bottles of glue are getting a little bit low. I'll just put some more of this on this side, and maybe one of these flowers. I wanted it down here because it's up here at that end, but because this little piece of lace is down in this corner, I guess I better put it up here. Does that make sense? Glue's oozing out of this one. I have this little scrap, so I think I'll put that on there too. It's just a little scrap of a pink lace. It's just laying there. Must have jumped right out of my tin so I would see it. Okay. Now, this side has some really nice German script on it. So I don't think I want to cover it completely. But you kind of have to if you're going to put a picture on. Maybe I will just put a small card or something so I can write a quote on it. Yeah, I could do that. sure if I want pink on it. This is pretty. It's ruffled on both sides. I like that. There we go. That was an easy one. I guess I better start looking up quotes because I want the quotes in here before I call it done. This is my Mrs.Cogs design team project. Got to keep using this glue as it oozes out. I'm just spreading it around now, but it is continuing to ooze. Ah, here comes some more. Okay, I have to wipe it off. I hate wasting the glue. Two pages done. I don't really want to close the page because that's sticky and it will stick to that page. If I had wax paper, I'd put a piece of wax paper in between. I just won't work on this page yet. Look at this pretty dyed page with the markings on it. That's so cute. So pretty. I'm going to trim this just a little bit. I just trimmed a little off each side. I like the blue map page with the blue iris. I could have used this image in the traveler's notebooks I just made. I'm assuming, sorry, I have a frog in my throat. I'm assuming this came from Blue in the Garden. Maybe a little bit of yellow because there's some yellow in there. This is pretty bright, so I don't want to overdo it. This is a textured paper. I know I could tear this easier if I wet it, but I don't want to take the time. How about some blue mulberry paper? I guess I am going to have to wet things. I'll just bring my water brush over instead of a glass of water and a paintbrush. So this is mulberry paper. You can see all the fibers in it. And it's lovely to tear. And it's easier to tear if you just wet the edges first. There, now I'm getting more water out of it. And it doesn't take long. You just have to wet it and then tear. You don't have to wait for it to soak or anything because this paper is so thin. So I can just pull it off. You can find mulberry paper on Amazon. I don't know if you can still find it in the stores. I've had my mulberry paper for years, back when it was being very popular in the scrapbooking and stamping world. I think I like that, just like that, with maybe a touch of blue lace on top. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it was already sticking a little bit there. Went and visited my parents yesterday. They live really close to me. I hadn't seen them in a couple weeks. So I paid them a visit, and that was nice. They're 83 and doing very, very well. They have their issues, but maintaining. They're doing great. And about when I was ready to go, my dad was going to go walk the dog, so I figured I'd walk with him. So that was nice. It was cold out, but not too bad. And we didn't get to walk very much because Mandy was too busy investigating everything. We'd take a few steps and then have to stop while she sniffed around and then take a few more steps. But, you know, we were out, moving, enjoying the company. This is what I have. So it was very nice. Just put a little bit of this glue down and lay the lace on top of it. And again, I'll have to let that dry before I let it hit the other page. But this is good, so I can work on this page now. Just going to trim a little off of this side. Love that little girl sitting on the bench with a book. So cute. This is an applique with seed pearls or beads or something from a wedding dress. I had bought a D-stash bundle of stuff a few years ago, and it contained parts of the lady's wedding dress. Oops. I don't know if I'll use it here, but I wanted to check it out. That looks pretty. You know, I don't want to add too much bulk to the pages because it's really gonna, but it's a felt cover, so you know it can It'll just curve. I think it'll be fun to have a chunky book. What else? A little blue, so it'll go with this page. Maybe I should use this instead. It's a little bit too big. This mulberry paper is so pale that it almost looks white when it's down on the background paper. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I want one of these little appliques instead of that big wedding one. Another interesting piece of handmade paper. I don't even know where this came from. I don't know, this one is more challenging for me. I don't know. Ah, I think that's better. Maybe just keep it simple. Put the little girl down and use a piece of mulberry paper and a lace applique and call it good. Come on. Gonna use my glue stick. It's gonna go that way. Time to take my jacket off. I just want a little piece of lace at the top. Perfect. Yep, I'm almost out here. Maybe it is out. There's a little bit. This is fun. Hope it's fun for you too. Well, I have some burgundy mulberry paper. That would be pretty with this image. It's nice to use up these little scraps. Yeah, that looks good. That's simple. Either it's oozing or it won't come out. So I get it to come out and then it oozes. Okay, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're doing great. I was hoping to do 8 today. I mentioned I have 3 different kits of Mrs.Cogs, and I put them in order. I cut them all out, and I kind of went, you know, white, pink, green, white, pink, blue, or something. You know, I have pink in the garden, white in the garden, and blue in the garden. So I wouldn't end up with all of one color bunched together, so they're spread out. So they're all stacked up and ready for me to use. But I can change them if I want to. I might want 2 flowers next. No, I think I like it like that. I don't want to cut off too much of the images. And I'll use some of the same mulberry paper on this side. Battery's still flashing, but it's still working. That side is already frayed. Oh my goodness, I watched Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, the second Mamma Mia movie. I love ABBA music. I'm going to have to tear some of this off anyway. My husband and I used to listen to ABBA. I still listen to ABBA, but we listened to it a lot in the early years of our marriage. And I remember saying, how can you not like ABBA? They're just so, I don't know, so fun. So anyway, I didn't know if I was going to like the second one as much as I liked the first, but I really did. It made me happy. So I got it from Netflix. So now I know I'm going to have to buy the movie to add to my collection. Might need a little bit more up there, something a little more. Piece of fabric maybe. Just trying to use up scraps, like I said. These scissors are not very sharp anymore. I do have a good pair, a better pair. Yeah, I'll bunch that up and then maybe add a little piece of lace. Okay. Okay, we're cooking now. Most of the time I'm pretty quick with my decisions in collage. Sometimes I fuss a little more because it's not coming together, but I try not to second guess myself too much. I don't want to spend a long time on it. I just like to do it for fun. And it's pleasing to me to go back and look at them. So I do try to make them attractive so that I enjoy looking at them later, which I do. What did I have down here? Nothing? Remember already. All right, I had a piece of fabric. Everything went flying. Because the extra element is down here on this page, I want to put it up here on this page. And I'm just going to put some glue here and then bunch this seam binding up. Ah, stuck to my hand. Well, I didn't think it would be this hard. Probably because my hands are so sticky. Let's see if I can wipe some of the glue off my hands. Let's try this again. That oozing glue. This seam binding is saturated with glue. It seems like it would stick. Well, it's not the way I thought it would be, but it's okay. Time to break out the new glue. Just don't want to waste time opening stuff while my battery light's flashing. Okay. Make sure things are dry and not sticking. Everything's good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go grab another of my Fabri-Tacs. Where is it? There it is. I knew I had one, or at least I hoped I did. Are any of the rest rest of you craft room klutzes like me. I'm a craft room klutz. But it doesn't stop me. I'm just charging right ahead. Oh, let's try this. There. Okay. We're good to go now. Next page. Ooh, 36 minutes, so we're still going. I'm going to stop the video and change the battery, and then I'll do some more. So I'll be back.